I am often asked what being on a charity deployment is like. I made this video log of my recent deployment to Mali to show why it matters. My family was highly skeptical of me traveling to Mali due to the recent events in this West African nation. However, I had made a commitment and was keen to follow it through. I took a flight to Heathrow to Casablanca and another 3-hour flight to Bamako, the capital of Mali. I was accompanied by my colleagues from Muntada Aid. We arrived in Bamako at past midnight, and as you would expect, security was exceptionally tight with the recent events. Filming anything at the airport is not authorized. After going through the immigration, we met our local team and we drove to the hotel. The streets were quiet, there was hardly any traffic, and it had just rained a little bit earlier on. Going through immigration and finding a room that works is a story for another time. Day 1. On the first morning of our deployment, we found that our bathrooms had no water.
You have to do wudu and give me your water. So in any case, he's jet setting around the world. Now he's exhausted. This is the point. CEOs should be strategically planning.
After breakfast, we started our long drive to Fana, some 150 kilometers from Bamako, where our team was carrying out cataract surgeries. Bamako is the capital city of Mali and is home to over 3 million people. Despite all the political trouble, it is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. As there's no proper public transport, there's no major infrastructure, motorbikes seem to be the favorite mode of transport. After a few hours of a drive, we reached the hospital complex. The medical infrastructure in the country, particularly in rural areas, is minimal. The hospital where our team was treating cataracts is deemed one of the larger medical facilities in the district, but by all standards it was just very, very basic. During my visit, I had the opportunity to speak to some of the patients.
You can see family and friends are waiting outside already. People bring them here. Obviously, there's people who've got, in most cases, both eyes have cataracts. But they will only work with one eye initially. They'll operate on one eye first of all. So some of the people who are waiting are outside here. And you'll see now on that side, the unfortunate ones that can only wait outside because there's no infrastructure, no setup for them to have this number of people, A, and B, a kind of seating facility for them. But there is a smaller area, which you just follow me now. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum. Barakallahu feek. Jazakallah khair. Follow me here, which is a bit more, has a bit of AC. And you have some people here also waiting, come through. And again, you'll see people with just one patch in their eyes. And these are the people that have been anesthetized. They've had the change in their lens to be removed. And the cataract operation has taken place. And then the patch will stay on them for a certain period of time until it's removed. And that's when the impact of having this operation becomes evident for them. This is the room where they wait. Some of them are waiting here already, alhamdulillah. And if you come through to this room, this is where they anesthetize them initially. You'll be able to walk through here. Assalamu alaikum. And I think we have a gentleman here being treated here. It's quite different to obviously standards that we're used to in the West, but nevertheless, alhamdulillah, given the facilities here, the doctors do their best, they're trained. It's not particularly complicated procedure, and alhamdulillah, they're able to make it successful. This chap is being anesthetized right now. Once they're done in this section here, in this room, which you have some sort of cool AC, a little bit more cooler here, alhamdulillah, they'll move on to the operating theatre area. I'm going to check if we can perhaps go inside here. I think it's clear for us to go inside here. Assalamu alaikum. And there's the doctor working away with this gentleman having his lens taken out and here a new lens being placed into the eye that will give his sight back. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it a success for this gentleman and for all the other people that are waiting outside. And inshallah ta'ala, we hope that these life-changing operations will have an enormous impact on people's lives. As you can see, it's a very manual world here. There's not many creature comforts. Everybody has to do things by their hands. They have to walk. They have to, everything's done by themselves. And so losing your sight, as naturally happens, people are of an elderly age, and then treating it is a great reward to do for them because of this blessing of eyesight that Allah has given us.
The medical team had to stop the day's planned operations as the whole team was rushed to help people injured in a road accident very close by. From there, we started our journey back to Bamako, where we met the Mariam Institute students, or the Mariam Institute orphans. later that day. It is a girls-only shelter that provides children with accommodation, food and education. It is home to almost 100 children, and Muntada Aid has been providing them with food and clothing for the past 14 months. But by the time we got there, the weather had changed. Rain is always welcomed in these parts of the world.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah. We've arrived here at the Maryam Center. This is the orphanage place here. And subhanAllah, what a change in climate. You can see the rain coming down now. It's quite intense rain. Our drivers just come all soaked. But alhamdulillah, we'll wait for the rain to reduce a little bit. And we'll have a walk around and see what the needs are here for the orphanage. And we'll see what they want and talk about how we can support them further, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
But when it rains, it pours in Mali. Roads flooded quickly.
So mashallah, alhamdulillah, I'm here with Naif. We've just come to the orphanage here with with Sister Maryam. Naif, mashallah, had some very nice words with them at the top. They came down, it was raining, they were eating on the roof. As you can see, the rain's come. Naif, talk to us about the rain. What's happened to the roads?
15 minutes and you can't actually go on these roads, any normal cars. But that's the state of their affairs at the moment. This is where they live, subhanAllah. Difficult.
After greeting the children and Sister Maryam, we decided to go back and get ready for our next day. Day 2 of our deployment started very early. We left our hotel around 7:30 a.m. for a 5-hour drive to the district of Gomanatu, where Muntada Aid was about to hand keys to the vocational college funded by HNKCC to the local community. Our team stopped for a local breakfast before continuing a long road. For lunch we had fresh corn on the cob. This long drive gave me a chance to speak to my family.
Yeah. Look after mama, okay? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. هذا كيف الديالي هذا. Allah يحفظه إن شاء الله. I'm coming Baba, okay? يوم الخميس on Thursday, okay? Couple of days I'll be with you. Okay? Allah يحفظك. Be a good boy, okay? Listen to mama.
After covering 250 kilometers, we were welcomed by the town's mayor. After that, we headed towards the vocational college, but by this time the downpour was so heavy that everything was soaked in rain. But despite all the rain, we were greeted by the locals who had arranged a little get-together for us.
About 4 hours away from the capital, another rural area, a village area here where they have set up a physical building that we have overtaken, or we have now supported, to develop their education facilities and to develop the teachers and to be able to have the facilities much more suitable for the children. Muntada Aid logo at the back. We have our new building set up there. We're going to have a look there. There's some classrooms there for some of the vocational courses, which we'll go into details about. So here is an example of one of the classrooms. We have the head teacher here who's just observing some of the classrooms at the moment. But you can see, if you come with me this way, that they are using typewriters, archaic typewriters, which are over there. If you have a look, please. And they are using typewriters. Using typewriters because that's what they still use in the governmental roles. And we're trying to make sure that when these girls and the boys that do the typewriting course will be able to develop those skills and then be able to apply it. We're going to use another classroom now, further down. Classic typewriters. Here we have a class taking place here where they do administrative skills. All of these small courses are in fact parts of administrative skills that they're teaching. So they have typing skills here, they have accounting skills here, they have French language being taught, they have the English language being taught. They have seamstress courses taking place for the girls. Why? Because they can have immediate impact. They'll know how to sew clothes, they'll be able to sell clothes here. As we have seen with our own eyes, the sparsity of having big clothes stores, things are locally made, locally produced, fabric is available, they'll be able to make money and provide for their families. So here's another classroom here. I'm not sure what he's teaching here, but we'll come at the back here so I don't have to disturb him. And as you can see, these are young people, teenagers, kids who are from the local area where there's very limited scope for being able to study things. And holiday here at the moment, alhamdulillah, and we're disturbing the class, but I don't think the teacher's going to mind too much, alhamdulillah.
Finishing at the school, we set off on our drive back to Bamako. The rain and the pitch black darkness made the roads extremely dangerous and tiresome. We finally reached our hotel and were glad to be out of our wet shoes and clothes. But this made me think we have the choices, but millions of these people in Mali don't. This thought made itself even louder on day 3 of our deployment. Day 3, we had breakfast and started day 3 by heading to one of the IDP camps just outside Bamako.
Weather yesterday, I told you it's rain, so now I will choose some shoes that we got here originally for the charity. Just keep me going for a little while, inshallah. And then we'll be back on the road. This is part of the charity work. We had, mashallah, Knife has had a bit of a stomach bug, and he's kind of suffered a little bit, but that's all fi sabilillah. You can see him, he goes sit tight. But now the secret is to eat less, and that will make it better. Inshallah, inshallah.
The road leading to them could have been better.
The Knife struggled here at the back, and now I understand why. And I think that severe motion continued until the night.
We arrived at the camp where our team was waiting for us. The camp is home to over 3,000 people who fled the war and destruction that has engulfed the country's north for over a decade now. It was heartbreaking to see the desperate conditions of these people. When I went inside one of the tents, it felt like we walked into a hot oven.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah. Here we are in a camp for internally displaced people in an area called Sinu. It is about 1 hour from the capital. Here, as you can see behind me, you can see their makeshift tents, and you can also see the valuable and critical and crucial food packs that we have developed and that we provide for these families here. It's enough for them to last for a family for 1 month. We have about approximately 3,000 people here. 3,000 people from a wide range of backgrounds in terms of age groups, elderly, mothers, fathers, widows, lots and lots of children, as you can see. About 3,000 in total, and the camp spreads really deep far back behind them, and you'll be able to see how deep and large this refugee camp is. This is for IDPs who are replaced from the north because of the sectarian violence that's taking place in Mali in the north. They moved down here. It's been almost 5 to 6 years these camps have been in place, yet there is no strategic, regular support from them from the organized, well-known international charities. Alhamdulillah, here we at Muntada Aid, we've identified with our close connections with the partners here in Mali, we've identified the needs of this particular refugee camp. We've identified that these refugee camps exist. And subhanAllah, we're able to use those critical donations that you give, that wonderful, sincere donations that you will give, inshallah ta'ala, to help people on the ground. And you can literally see that's where your money has gone. We've made sure that they get provided these materials. We've got some oil for them to cook. We've got 2 packs of pasta. We have some sugar for them here. We have a bag full of rice, which is below here. And we have a bag of flour for them as well. Staple diet for them. Things that we take for granted every single day, yet for them it's they're celebrating today when they get these food packs. May Allah reward you all, inshallah ta'ala. That's the basic support we're giving for them.
After we finished distributing the food packs, we headed towards Mariam Center again. This time we met children more and mixed with them more, and we spoke to Sister Mariam at length and started another program at the center. We have decided to provide each teenage child with monthly hygiene packs for girls that cover their basic monthly needs and medical costs.
Bismillah, when we came here about 40 months ago, one of the biggest needs that they had at the time for these young girls was basically clothing and food. So over the last 14 months, we've essentially supported them with food and clothing. This has now manifested itself with, mashallah, the girls are much more well-dressed. They weren't usually like this over 40 months ago. They now have clothes that they can wear, they're comfortable with. And secondly, we are now going to embark upon the project of developing more medical supplies for them and hygiene packs for the girls. It only costs around about £200 a month for all of these girls. That will cover their medicine and their hygiene packs. We will have a campaign for this, inshallah ta'ala, to support this group, this vulnerable group of girls here in Bamako, Mali.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. It's been a phenomenal trip. We're heading our way to the airport now. We're exhausted, thoroughly exhausted. And inshallah ta'ala, we will update you with all the updated clips in due course. Stay tuned. Viva al-Muntada.
Peace out.
As we headed back to the airport and navigated the Bamako traffic, I was thankful to Allah Almighty for allowing me to meet these fantastic people and giving us the opportunity to help them with their situations that they face. Hopefully I will see you again on another deployment. May Allah have mercy upon us all and help those suffering around the world.